Hello, boys and girls, and happy Halloween. I'm Greg from the Scary Spirits Podcast. Today I'm going to show you how to make the Jack-o'-lantern cocktail, which is the cocktail on this very special Halloween edition of the Scary Spirits Podcast. Alright, we're going to start with our shaker with ice. To that, we're going to add 1 ounce light rum. I'm using this rum from Nicaragua. And we're going to add 1 ounce of dark rum. I'm using gold rum. It's very similar. Then the recipe calls for 1 ounce of 151 rum. But as we all know, boys and girls, can't buy that anymore. So I'm just going to use Bacardi rum. 1 ounce. Getting low. To that, we're going to add 1 ounce Cointreau orange liqueur. Next, we're going to add 3 ounces orange juice to make it healthy. Yes. We're going to add, let's do this first. 1/4 ounce grenadine. 1/4 ounce. Whatever. Then we're going to add 1.5 ounces lemonade. Like so. Next, we shake. So, we're going to pour all of that into a hurricane glass. I don't have that. I'm going to use a Collins glass. Yeah, it's very orange, as it should be. Next, we're going to add ice. Yep. We're going to garnish with an orange wheel. Ooh, look at that, boys and girls. A blood orange garnish for Halloween. Straw. Enjoy. Yeah, it's pretty good. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy the podcast. See ya. Bye.
Who knew babysitting on Halloween night could turn into such a nightmare? Halloween should be spooky, and maybe even a little frightening, but most definitely fun. I mean, carving pumpkins? Sure. Making popcorn and watching scary movies? Absolutely. Talking with your friends on the phone? Pretty common babysitting stuff. But fending off a murderer and trying to kill the boogeyman, that's going to require some hazard pay. Michael Myers has come back to kill. Find out who survives to babysit another night in this week's episode of the Scary Spirits podcast, number 27, John Carpenter's Halloween. Cheers.
Welcome to the Scary Spirits podcast. Please be advised that the presenters may use adult language and or discuss adult situations. This podcast is not intended for younger listeners or those that may be easily offended. So if you're ready, let's go.
Hi, I'm Greg,
Hey, I'm Karen.
and welcome to the Scary Spirits podcast, the podcast that combines the two very different yet highly compatible worlds of scary films and alcoholic spirits.
What could possibly go wrong?
Indeed. How are you, Karen?
I'm doing great. How are you, Greg?
I'm good, Karen.
You're good.
I'm good.
Oh, this one should be a banner episode then.
Oh, we'll see. Good doesn't always mean banner. All right, Karen, I believe this week's film was your choice, was it not? Since it is, and no, it would have been, or was it yours or mine?
I thought it's mine.
Okay, it's yours then. Go ahead on.
Well, I'm claiming it because
Yeah.
I got the drink and everything.
I think we switched there at some point.
Yeah.
So, Karen, what movie have you chosen us to watch?
I have chosen 1978's John Carpenter's Halloween.
1978, you say, Karen.
Yep.
Do you remember 1978? Have we covered this yet?
I don't know. But-
78. I don't know.
I was living fancy free in 78, I'm sure.
Yeah, footloose and fancy free.
Rocking my schoolgirl uniform
Yeah.
back
I
in the
think that-
day.
I think that's about the time that the Rod Stewart album, Footloose and Fancy Free, came out, actually.
Well, then that's what I was doing. Living footloose and fancy free. Probably wishing I was older, like a silly young girl.
Yeah, Footloose and Fancy Free by Rod Stewart. 1977, Karen, where you're off.
Oh.
Sorry.
Well, I'm a little slow on the uptake,
But
so I
yeah,
probably
yeah,
was
You may have just discovered it in 1978.
right.
That is entirely possible, as with myself as well.
Good recovery
Yeah, you know,
after throwing me under the bus.
we were young and dumb. We didn't know nothing. We were very young and dumb.
Nothing's changed.
Very
except
young and
we-
very dumb, probably.
and now we're very old. Very dumb.
Hi,
Go
Karen.
us.
So Halloween from 1978,
Yes,
John Carpenter's Halloween.
that would be the one. That's what I watched.
Yes. Might we
Okay.
have a cocktail for this?
We do. It's called the Jack-o'-lantern cocktail,
How fitting.
isn't it? And it's from Cooking with Curls.
I think she's a repeat reference.
Probably. She probably does a lot of Halloween drinks.
So what do we need, Karen?
You're going to need 1 ounce of light rum, 1 ounce of dark rum. It says 1 ounce of 151.
Yeah. So what do we do, Karen? What do we
You
do?
f-
What do
you
we do?
freewheel. You do whatever you want. You can add. What I did was add a 1/2 ounce more of each of the light and dark rum, or you can choose another one.
Okay.
1 ounce of Cointreau, 3 ounces of orange juice, 1.5 ounces of lemonade, and 1/4 ounce of grenadine. Want to know what to do with all that?
Well, yeah.
Okay. Place 1 cup of ice in the cocktail shaker. Add all ingredients and shake to combine. Pour into a glass and fill with ice. Garnish with an orange wheel and straw. Serve.
Enjoy.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I'm
I
adding
like
that
it.
one. I'm adding enjoy.
Well, do you ever not enjoy?
Yeah.
Rarely.
There was one I didn't enjoy.
It's not too bad out of 27.
No, this is pretty good. Should we give our listener
Time to
make
run.
their own?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, run to the store and get all this shit. Hold on. And we're back.
We are. Get comfy with your drink because we're ready to go.
And happy Halloween, by the way, Karen.
Yeah, absolutely. Which is why I chose this film. You know,
Well, yeah.
it's kind of, you have to, right? I don't think there's a
Yes.
way out.
Yes, and for the many years to come when we are doing this podcast, we have many sequels to choose from. So
Great. Yay.
this is the original John Carpenter, directed and scored by John Carpenter.
And written too, wasn't it?
I'll know that.
With someone else. Yes.
Deborah.
Someone, yeah, a partner.
Deborah Hill, directed and scored and co-written with Deborah Hill. Yeah.
Okay, so pretty much fingers in all the pies there.
Yeah, he and Deborah have always kind of partnered up. So pretty much all their stuff is
Oh,
them.
I didn't know that.
Yes. For future reference, Karen, The Fog is one of my favorite horror movies ever. And we will get to that. Well, I had it in January, but probably not now. Probably do it in February.
Maybe for Valentine's Day.
Yeah, The Fog for Valentine's Day. Yeah,
It's
I love
probably
The Fog.
It's probably a love story, right?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, you could. Well, yeah, you could definitely say that. It's my favorite John Carpenter film. I haven't seen them all, mind you, but still.
But have you seen this one before?
Yes, I have.
Multiple times, I'm guessing.
Couple.
Okay, I had not.
Okay, good for you.
Yeah.
Might you have a synopsis?
I actually have two because I thought the one on Amazon was hilarious.
Which one are you going to use?
I'm going to do both of them. You'll see why.
Thanks.
So usually you say, do you have a brief synopsis, right?
Yes, a brief. Karen.
Okay.
Do you
ready?
have a brief
synopsis? Yes, I do. Synopsis. From Amazon. You ready?
Yes.
Michael Myers comes home to kill.
Yes, go on.
That's it. No, that's Amazon's synopsis.
Yes, Michael Myers comes home to kill. Yes, I am validating that. That is the brief synopsis.
So I thought perhaps I should search a little longer and find something else. Since I had never seen it, I would like a better synopsis. Okay, you ready?
Okay, yes, go on.
On a cold Halloween night in 1963, 6-year-old Michael Myers brutally murdered his 17-year-old sister, Judith. He was sentenced and locked away for 15 years. But on October 30th, 1978, while being transferred for a court date, a 21-year-old Michael Myers steals a car and escapes Smith's Grove. He returns to his quiet hometown of Haddonfield, Illinois, where he looks for his next victims.
Any idea where Haddonfield, Illinois is?
Oh,
probably fictional.
Yeah, I thought it was made up.
Probably is. Yeah, so it's not a real town.
But it's a typical small town in the Midwest.
It is. Karen, before we get started, do we have any corrections, omissions, anything that you know of?
Not that I know of, but as I always like to say, I was drunk. If you catch Greg making mistakes, you can always email him and let him know.
Yes.
At
greg@scaryspirits.com. And I'm sure I do it every episode. We might make it a contest. Find the place where Greg fucks up. And email him. And maybe the first one to email us, I don't know, wins a prize. I don't know. Maybe not.
Find the one place, because there's probably multiple, right?
There probably is. You are correct, Karen. You're so smart, Dr. Karen.
Yeah, but I probably have more mistakes than you do.
I don't know. I edit you very well.
Thanks, Greg. Don't give me props. Just tell everybody you edit me.
Now, I'm not going to deny that you make more mistakes than me. I'm just going to say, yeah, I edit you well.
You shouldn't confirm or deny.
All right, Karen, anything else before we get started?
No, that now that I'm pissed at you, let's go.
All right. Good times. This will be good. This will be fun.
It'll be a
Right?
fun one. Yay. I'm just kidding.
All right. So Halloween from 1978, Karen. We start with credits and we see introducing Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, and I just want to say there's a flickering jack-o'-lantern the whole time, which totally validates the drink that I chose. Because I had
Yes.
not seen the movie before and I was guessing. So I'm very proud of that fact.
Yeah, there is a
Yeah.
flickering jack-o'-lantern the whole time the credits are rolling.
So this is her first film?
This is.
Okay. I like her.
I do too. And I thought it was interesting that the girl who plays Annie has a screen name. It's not her real name, but she chose Nancy Loomis as her name in this film. Her real name is Nancy Keys. And she's, of course, this was Carpenter's first film too, but
No, it wasn't.
his first major film. Yeah.
Oh,
She has collaborated with him a few times, including his little film he did before this. But I thought it was interesting that she was Nancy Loomis in this film.
wait. And Nancy something in another film?
Keys.
In his previous film?
I don't know that. But
I'm
in this
confused.
film,
Wait, her name is Annie in this film.
yeah, but she's
Oh, you mean her
credited in this
stage
film.
name
Yeah, she's
as
known professionally as Nancy Loomis.
okay.
She's in this film. She's in Assault on Precinct 13, which is the little independent film he did before this. And she is in The Fog and Halloween 2, even though Carpenter
So
didn't do
her
that
name
one.
is different in other films? I'm not following where you're going here.
No, it just says known professionally as Nancy Loomis. Nancy
Oh.
Keys, known professionally as Nancy Loomis.
Oh, so she has like a pen name or
Yeah.
something.
But
Gotcha.
I just thought it was interesting that
A nom de plume.
Loomis, because that is a character's name in the film, right?
Is it?
Right? Yes, Karen. Yes, Karen. It is.
Oh, doctor.
Yes, Dr.
Okay.
Loomis.
I just called him doctor. That's why it didn't ring a bell. But yes. Okay.
And then
The
we
doctor.
we also have PJ Souls, Karen, from which film we've already done?
Carrie. Good,
Good for you,
Karen.
Karen.
Yay. I didn't know there was going to be a test.
And then we see it on the screen, Haddonfield, Illinois, 1963. And we start from the very get-go, viewing the eyes of the killer. We're seeing what
Viewing
the killer
through
sees.
the eyes. Yes. Through
Yes.
the eyes. Yeah.
So Michael, well, I know he's Michael. So I'm calling him Michael. Michael's sister boyfriend leaves the house. Right? It's just Michael and his sister now, right?
Well, before you say that, to give a little background, the sister and her boyfriend are teenagers. They're making out. Then they go upstairs and they do a little more than making out.
Well, we don't see that though, Karen. We don't
No,
know.
the lights go off upstairs. And then we see him zipping his pants and coming back down the stairs and
I
leaving.
don't
So
remember him zipping his pants, but whatever.
he did. He did, because she says, call me. And he's like, whatever. And he leaves. Because that's so, yeah.
Okay.
Then
So
but
Michael
they-
goes upstairs.
they had sex upstairs.
Well, we don't know that, Karen. Come on now.
Yes, we do.
Teenage
They're
sex?
teenagers. Teenagers alone in a house. I think we know that. Okay.
So Michael goes upstairs. We're seeing everything from his eyes. And he picks up a mask too as he enters. Judith is her name, his sister.
hmm
I think he picks up a mask right when he walks inside a room. So then we just see two like little eyes.
It's a clown mask that goes with his costume. Her
But we-
boyfriend had taken it upstairs.
But we do see two bare breasts, Karen.
Yeah, she's combing her hair,
Yes. Topless in front of a mirror.
as you do.
Yeah, well, that means, well, from the front angle, we may have four bare breasts, Karen. Shit, I didn't think about that.
Right. You didn't.
But anyway, Michael stabs his sister.
Lots of times.
Yeah, so this is pretty much the only time there's any blood in the whole film.
Yeah.
It's not a lot. This isn't a bloody, gory film, right, Karen?
No, surprisingly not.
And so Michael runs out of the house just as his parents pull up, and they're shocked and whatever, awed.
I don't think they're odd.
What have you? Yeah, it was kind of weird, I thought.
Well, he takes off the mask and he looks like the sweetest kid you've ever
Well,
seen.
yeah, as they do.
I mean, just a darling little child.
Yeah, a little blonde haired boy, just like I looked like when I was 6 years old, Karen.
Oh, there you go.
But of course, they don't know what's happened yet. But he's standing there with a knife, probably bloody knife.
A bloody knife. Yeah.
And then we cut scene from that. And now we're at Smiths Grove, Illinois, 1978,
October 30th.
which is apparently where the insane asylum is or whatever he's at now. And we see Dr. Loomis and a chain smoking nurse.
It's a very rainy night and they're in the car together driving to pick up Michael, I guess.
Yes. And do you know the name of the chain smoking nurse, Karen?
No. Is it Nurse Ratchet? No.
It's Marilyn Chambers.
Okay. Should I know that?
No, you probably
No.
should not. I thought it was interesting, but no, you probably have no frame of reference. So,
What's your frame of reference?
well, there was a porn star named Marilyn Chambers,
Oh, okay.
and this is Marion Chambers. Marilyn, Marion, whatever. I didn't even know her name until right before we started recording here, because that's when I looked it up. So anyway, apparently the inmates are outside roaming. They pull up.
Yeah. Was there more than one? There was, right?
Yes, there
were a
was.
bunch of them. And it's pouring rain.
Yes.
I mean, it's just ridiculous. Thunder, lightning, the whole thing. And they're outside.
And Loomis immediately knows, something's up.
Well, he is a good doctor.
So he tells her to pull over, and he runs out and goes to the guard shack or whatever.
Yeah, I think he gets on the phone, doesn't he?
Yeah. But in the meantime, Michael jumped on top of the car, smashes the window, and steals the car. Right?
He scares the nurse. He's grabbing her, choking her. So she tries to get out of the car. And as soon as she gets out of the car, he jumps in it and drives away.
Next on the screen, it says Haddonfield, Halloween, October 31st. Right.
Yes.
And this is where we first meet Laurie Strode.
Do you tell me you don't call her Lori?
Laurie.
Because I call her Jamie Lee.
Laurie. I call her
Jamie Lee Curtis
time.
the whole time. Oh, no. Okay. You'll have to correct me.
Okay. Laurie with her white stockings, Karen. Her white. What the hell are those? They're not like stockings. They're like knit stuff, right? Knit.
They're like hose, kind of, but they're knit. They're thick.
Yeah,
they're not like leggings or.
It's like your grandma.
Tights. They're tights. Took me a while to get there, but they're knit
grandma
tights.
macrameed them or something. What the hell are they? I don't know what they are.
They're
like socks, only
they're knitted tights. That's all.
All right.
They're thick.
They are thick, as you would have, I guess. And if you were in Illinois, which they obviously aren't in October. So.
No, but it could be cold, and they were probably popular in the 70s. So
Yes.
She's got a skirt. The reason we can see them is she's wearing a skirt.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. She's got these white
knitted
tights.
tights.
Yes. And I do remember lots of girls wearing them back in the day at this time period. I do remember 1978, Karen.
Yay. Way to go.
So anyway, her dad comes out and asks her, hey, remember to drop that key off at the Myers house, because he's a realtor, right? There's a magnetic sign on his car that says Strode Realty.
Yeah, he's a realtor. And it looks like she's going to school because she's carrying her books. So
books. Okay.
Yeah, some people did that.
And then she runs into the boy she's going to babysit that night, right? His name is Tommy Doyle. Little Tommy Doyle. And he urges her not to go to the Myers house. Don't go up there and put that key under the mat. It's a
Which is
haunted
hilarious
house.
that you would put the key under the mat.
Yeah. But
Not
she
that
goes
anybody
anyway.
wants to go in that house, but I'm saying that's their system. Put the key under the mat. Okay.
Yeah. She goes anyway, and we see there's someone inside the house watching from outside. And they watch her walk down the sidewalk in her white stockings.
Yeah, and you hear mouth breathing.
Michael breathes. I mean, he might have a respiratory issue.
Well, that, or I think it's the mask too.
Could be. So
But you just see the back of it. You see his shoulder. So you see that he's wearing like a mechanic's uniform kind of thing. The blue heavy duty material jumpsuit.
So next we see Loomis and some other guy arguing about the previous night and how Michael got out. I guess he's another doctor or something. I don't know.
I guess, or an administrator.
Yeah.
But they're basically blaming each other.
Yes. And Loomis is parked in a handicapped parking place.
I saw that too. Rude. So rude. I guess he's important.
I don't know. Or he thinks he is. Next we see Lori in English class. I believe it's English class. She's in school.
Yeah. Why are they always in English class? Have you noticed that? Is that so they can use some sort of reference?
Yeah, some literary reference. Yeah. And they're talking about fate.
Yes.
That's all I have, Karen. Please
that's
proceed.
All I have. Nope, that's all I have.
Okay. And Lori sees the station wagon outside the window.
The station wagon is the type of car that Michael stole.
Yes.
Yeah.
It even has like it's got like a state seal on the side of
yes,
it, on the door
does.
and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. He didn't even ditch the car. He's driving the car he stole.
Yes. And the teacher calls on Lori and she doesn't miss a beat because, she's good at English like that.
Yeah. Even though she's looking out the window and sees him staring at her, the teacher calls on her and she answers the question perfectly.
So next we see the kid, Tommy Doyle, that Lori is going to babysit. And he's being teased by other boys, Karen. They're teasing him about the boogeyman. Boogeyman's going to come get you. And he is holding a huge pumpkin. Tommy Doyle is.
Well, because when he saw Lori earlier, they talked about how they were going to carve a pumpkin when she was babysitting him. So yeah, he's trying to get this big pumpkin home, but the boys are mean and they push him down and he falls on top of the pumpkin and the pumpkin is no more.
You know what I always say, Karen?
What's that, Greg?
Boys will be boys.
Like, I thought maybe you're going to say dropped pumpkins always burst. What other pearls of wisdom are you going to let me have?
I like that one too. But Michael is watching as well.
Yeah, and he follows Tommy. I was kind of hoping he'd follow the damn bullies and give them a
well, he did grab one of them as they're running away. But so next, Loomis calls the Haddonfield sheriff. He warns them that Michael is coming, and we see a car garage truck. Of course, he's in like a rotary payphone booth at a crossroads. Right,
yeah,
Karen?
he just stops on the road because there used to be back in the day random payphones, different places. So it was at a railroad crossing, and he just stops his car, gets out to call the police at Haddonfield, and a loud train's going by, and then we see the truck that says Phelps Garage, and Michael's clothes are there.
There's lots of what look like white sheets to me. Are those why it could be his like
those
hospital gown? Shit?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what it is.
Okay.
So he's taken the outfit of I'm sure the mechanic that was driving the truck, but we don't see where that person is.
Yes, we do. And if a second, the camera pans over and there's a dead dude laying in the grass.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that would make much more sense because I thought, where's the dude?
Yeah, he's there. He's to the right, Karen. Okay. Camera pans and he's to the right. We don't see a lot of him, but we see his, chest up in the grass. I
didn't see it. I must have looked down because I thought the book of matches that the doctor held up meant something.
It did.
The Rabbit and Red Lounge.
It did mean something.
See, I missed that too because I don't know.
So those are the same matches that the chain smoking nurse was lighting her cigarette with in the station wagon.
Oh.
So now he knows that the station wagon has been there because it's the same book of matches. And
I see. Gotcha. Totally missed that completely. I knew it was important, but I thought he was gonna go to this lounge or something. Gotcha.
Yeah. So in the beginning, when the chain smoking nurse, they like focus in on that book of matches on the dashboard or something. And this is where it comes back now.
Okay. Wow. I missed a lot already.
No, it's Halloween. Your mind's thinking of trick-or-treating and your costume. Have you planned your costume yet, Karen?
I have not.
Oh my God, it's only a few days away. What are you going to
I
do?
know. I better get on it.
All right. Next, we see the girls walking home from school. So it's basically Lori, Annie, and Linda, who is PJ Souls.
Yes.
And she's
And
smoking. She's a
she is
smoker.
smoking. And she's a cheerleader and she's a smoker, which is
Is
kind
she a
of funny.
cheerleader?
Yeah, she said she had routines to learn. And
Okay.
so it's a busy weekend because there's obviously a game and then there's a dance the next
Yeah,
day.
the homecoming dance is the next night. So this must happen. We're on Friday now, I'm assuming. They're leaving school from Friday, and Saturday night's the homecoming dance. Yes, and they're talking about the night to come. They're going to be babysitting on Friday night, Karen, and hanging out with their boyfriends at their various babysitting places. Except for Lori. She ain't got no boyfriend.
No, and she forgot her chemistry book. So they make fun of her because that's why she doesn't have a boyfriend.
So Lori sees Michael from behind bushes as they're walking. It's just Annie
Well-
and Lori now. PJ's already gone to her house, or I
Right
call her
up- right-
PJ from now on. So just
Okay.
when I say PJ, I mean Linda with a
Linda.
Y.
Right. Isn't it right before that Michael Myers drives by and
No,
looks at the girls?
Karen, it's not just Linda. It's Linda Van der Klock. She has 4 names. Linda with a Y. All right, go on.
Michael Myers drives by them and Annie yells at him and says, "Speed kills."
Yeah,
and he
she does.
screeches the car to a halt.
He does.
And it
yes.
looks like he's going to back up, but he doesn't. I thought that was creepy. That's the only reason I want to say, it kind of puts you on edge, like he's going to get out of the car,
Yep.
but he didn't. Yeah. And then PJ peels off from the group to her house, and Lori sees Michael standing near the bushes.
And Annie
but
runs
Ann-
up there and
Yeah.
there's no one there. So Annie goes to her house. Lori keeps walking and she bumps into Annie's father, who's the sheriff or whatever of the town, apparently.
Right. That was a jump scare.
Yep.
Yeah. They got me a little.
I think he says that, it's Halloween. Everyone's entitled to one scare or something like that. So next, Lori goes home to her house, as you would if you're going home.
Yes. When you go home from school, you usually end up at your house.
Yep. And
At least
goes
that's
in,
how we did it back in the day.
And she goes up. Well, we see trick-or-treaters outside before she walks in. And then she goes upstairs. And Karen, did you know that the interior of Lori's house is the interior of the house they use for Nightmare on Elm Street?
No, I didn't recognize it.
No, well, it is. But so they use the outside of this house for Halloween. And just by coinkydink, they use the interior of a house to film it. The same house they use for the exteriors of Nightmare on Elm Street. I guess they're all in the same general vicinity. But so there you go. There you go, kids. A little trivia, boys and girls.
So it's basically all inbred,
Yeah.
the housing.
Then I made a note. This is supposed to be Illinois, but I see a few tropical plants. It's not
Nice.
blatantly obvious.
No, but if you look hard, you can see
Yeah,
a palm
and there is a
tree.
palm tree way back in the distance that
Yeah.
you can see. Yes. So then Lori looks out her window and sees Michael in the laundry line.
Yeah, they're all white sheets and she sees him just standing there.
In the laundry line.
The clothesline. Yes.
Yes. And then the rotary phone rings and it's Annie. Well, at first she doesn't know it's Annie because she's got her mouth full. So Lori hangs up and Annie calls back and it's Annie. And I guess she's saying she's coming to get her, pick her up or whatever. Because the next thing we see, she's getting in the car with Annie.
With a pumpkin.
And there's crappy 50s music playing. That's what I wrote.
I think it's some sort of Halloween type.
I don't know. They do in the credits. They do mention "Don't Fear the Reaper" by Blue Oyster Cult, but I don't remember hearing it anywhere.
Oh, I did. I'll tell you where it is.
Okay, cool. So Annie and Lori are driving, and they're followed by Michael in the station wagon.
And that's where you hear "Don't Fear the Reaper."
Oh, is it?
Yeah, right
Okay.
there. you do have to jump back a little bit. Well, when the doctor is at the cemetery and they're
Well,
looking
that's where I'm
for.
going right now.
Oh, okay. Did I jump? All right, my bad.
I don't know if you did or I did, but next we see Loomis at the cemetery with the caretaker ? I don't know who he is. And they found that Judith Myers, is it just her headstone or is her whole grave has been dug
It's
up?
just the headstone.
Okay. Her headstone's been dug up and taken out. Next, Annie and Lori pull up to the hardware store where
Well, they're
Annie's
smoking
father is. Well, they're smoking a joint, yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh shit, it's my dad. Here,
Right.
She hands it to Lori and said, do something with this.
Right. And the windows are all up and they're smoking a joint. And then they pull up to her
Yes.
dad, who's a cop.
Yes.
And I'm thinking, wouldn't he
Yes.
smell it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's what I was thinking exactly. And they ask what's
They're-
going on, and Annie's
Yeah.
dad says, I don't know, someone stole a Halloween mask and some rope and knives, it's damn kids and their pranks.
I know he doesn't seem concerned at all. With the list of things he said, it was a little concerning to me, but
Yeah, we got mask, ropes,
Right.
knives, and a shovel. Well, not a shovel, but I mean, that would be awesome if it was a shovel.
yeah. And Michael Myers drives by behind him.
Yes. So Loomis arrives and is talking to the sheriff. And while the sheriff is standing there on the side of the road, the station wagon with Michael in it drives right behind him. And he's looking one way, and the station wagon passes him, and he turns the other way. It looks, I don't know, it's actually pretty good acting, I guess. Pretty good directing and acting. So next we see Michael following Lori and Annie. Samo.
Right behind them.
Yep. And here's where I made a note that I'm pretty sure the streets in Illinois do not have a ditch in the center of the road. Like there's a drainage thing in the center of the road at this point.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't notice.
Yeah, it's like, like in my neighborhood, they have like little cement ditches on the side of the road on each side, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this
Gutters,
there's one
like.
in the there's one in the center. And I'm like, I think I've seen that before when visiting my brother-in-law in Sacramento. So
Oh, it's a California thing, but I didn't know it wasn't anywhere else.
yeah. And then, Karen, it gets dark all of a sudden, really dark all of a sudden. Because the next scene, it's like pitch black out. They're driving along, and all of a sudden they get to the place where they're babysitting, and it's dark. Did you notice that?
Yeah, but I like how they made it look dark. It looks blue. Did you notice that? It kind of looks like
Did not.
they used a blue filter or something. I liked that.
Did not. I just know like we've missed like an hour. Did they drive around for an hour smoking a joint?
Maybe. You would think the parents would smell it on the babysitters too when they showed up.
So Lori gets dropped off where she was babysitting. And then Annie goes to the house she's babysitting. They're like across the street, right?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Annie is babysitting where, Karen?
I don't know where.
The Wallace house.
Oh, the Wallace house. Yes. I'm so sorry.
The Wallaces.
I actually have it written here.
She's babysitting little Lindsay Wallace. Is she? Is she
Yes,
not?
she is.
Okay. And we see Michael outside watching from afar. Next, we see Loomis and the sheriff, Annie's dad, at the Myers house. And they walk in, and apparently there's a dead dog. And Loomis says Michael must have got hungry or something.
Yeah.
We don't see it, but that's what they say. And Loomis says he's going to wait there because he thinks Michael will come back.
Yeah, because obviously he's been there. So
It's his house.
it's the only home he knows.
Next, we see Lori reading to the kid.
But
She's
wait a minute.
babysitting.
Just out of curiosity, it just occurred to me. He was how old? 6 when he committed these crimes?
Apparently.
When I was growing up, I lived in the same house for, 18 years. So I can't really judge, but if you were ripped from your house at 6, would you remember the address? That's pretty young to remember.
I wouldn't remember the address, but I would remember where it is. I don't.
You think you could
'cause-
find it?
Yes. So
But from an insane asylum?
when
where
I
you
was a
probably never-
child, in between kindergarten and first grade, we moved.
Mhm.
So I can tell you the street we lived on when I was in kindergarten. I can't tell you the address, the street address. I can take you right to the house but I can't tell you the street address. So I'm sure.
So you lived within the same city, though?
Yes.
Okay. So what I'm saying is, if you were.
Still Haddonfield.
Yeah, but they took him over to an insane asylum.
Okay.
Quite far away. How would he know where his house was?
He spent 6 years there.
I'm just saying it seems. I don't want to make it a big point. It just occurred to me that
you have a point, because maybe the only reason I know where it is because I've driven past it many times. I'd always ask my mom and dad, can we drive past our old house? But he couldn't have done that because he was in an asylum, right? You know
right.
what I mean?
He never left there. So it just occurred to me.
I mean, there are landmarks still there that I think I would know. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I agree.
It is.
I think
it has changed quite a bit. I'm just going to say, but since I was 6 years old, Karen, can you imagine? Can you believe it's changed since I was 6 years old?
To now, but even between your ages of 6 and 21, did it change?
Yeah, quite a bit.
It's not a big deal. It just occurred to me at 6, would you be able to?
You remember when 28 was farmland, Karen?
Yes.
Okay, well, there you go.
I remember when buckwheat was farmland for sure. Okay, sorry. It's not a big deal. It just seems it would be hard, I would think, for a 6-year-old to find their way. I mean, they had to drive a while because it took the doctor a while to get there. But it's not a big deal. Anyway, he goes back.
He just has to follow the signs to his town from wherever he is. And then once he's in his town, maybe he has recognition of, oh yeah, I remember that. And he's finding the street.
It just seemed
because of course in 1978 we did not have Google, did we, Karen?
No, that's what I'm saying. He has to remember where to go.
Or GPS or anything like that. Yeah.
He doesn't even have MapQuest.
Hey, he has a paper map.
He might, if there was one in the car. Okay, if he had a paper map and got his way to Haddonfield, then he probably could find his house.
And if he knows the street, yeah, he would. Or
even just if he drove in and saw the school or something, he could probably find his way.
Yeah, probably.
All right, I'll give it to you. Not worth that long discussion.
So you're saying I'm right, Karen?
As always.
Haven't dinged in a while.
I'm sorry.
So where do we leave off? Lori is reading to the kid, to the little Tommy Doyle. She's reading something about King Arthur, I believe.
Yeah, and he's not impressed.
No, because he has comic books under his couch.
Hidden under the couch.
Next, Karen, the rotary phone rings. And it's Annie calling from the Wallace residence. And of course, the Wallace dog is barking.
Yeah, she doesn't like the dog.
And she tells Lori that she has set her up for a date for homecoming with the boy that Lori mentioned in the car earlier. Not important.
Dude.
She's got a date that Lori thought was.
His name is Ben.
Okay. Ben. Next, little Tommy Doyle sees Michael across the street at the Wallace residence outside.
Yeah, he's looking out the window.
And then Annie spills something on herself, Karen, as she's talking to Lori.
Yeah, and you hear some mouth breathing. So you know he's looking through the window and watching Annie.
Yeah, and she takes off all of her clothes in the kitchen.
Because she spilled something on herself.
I think it was butter.
Yeah. And so, of course,
she says later,
you can't possibly have butter on your clothes. So you have to take them all off.
Oh, she strips down to her panties. I don't think she's wearing a bra because I don't remember seeing her taking her bra off. But she strips down to her panties and puts a shirt on, a dress shirt.
A dad's shirt.
Dad's shirt. Yeah.
Yeah.
She puts Mr. Wallace's shirt on.
Yes, she does. But Michael Myers breaks a pot outside. The dog runs out, barks at him, then whimpers, and he has killed the dog.
Yeah, he killed the dog. And
Did you notice what was on the TV?
Yes, Lori and Tommy Doyle are watching The Thing.
Yeah, that was pretty cute reference there.
Well, which I thought was very interesting because why do you say it's a cute reference?
Because didn't he remake that?
Yes, but much later after this.
Right.
Okay.
But I just thought it was neat how that worked out.
Yes, I'm not sure he knew he was going to redo it, but
well, he must have liked it.
Yeah. And they talk about the boogeyman, and Lori promises to keep little Tommy Doyle safe. And then Annie goes to the laundry shack behind the
She's
house.
a good babysitter.
Lori is?
Yeah.
Lori's a good person, just general.
Well, yeah, but she's engaged with the kid that she's babysitting. If you compare it to Annie, Annie's got her kid plopped in front of the TV, which, to each his own babysitting style, but she's really involved with Tommy, doing stuff with her.
Yes. And then Annie goes to the laundry shack behind the house, Karen.
Yeah, that was weird.
I'm not sure they do that in Illinois. It's like going to the outhouse, isn't it?
I don't know, but I don't know of anyone that had laundry out in the back in a shack.
No, in their garage, no. Except if you're in, my mom does that in Florida. So
she has a shack in the back.
Well, it's in the garage. It's a tiny garage, but yeah, but it's not attached to the house exactly. But anyway, and Michael locks her in, but she doesn't know it's Michael, but it is. And she tries to crawl out a window in her panty and Wallace dad shirt.
Yeah, there's a butt shot of Annie trying to crawl out the laundry room window unsuccessfully.
Yes, and then the rotary phone rings again, Karen, and it's Annie's boyfriend. And Lindsay Wallace answers, who's the little girl. And she says, hang on. And she sets the phone down.
She hung up the phone.
No, she didn't. She said
yes,
it down.
she did. No, she hung it up.
I don't think she did. She goes out to tell Annie she has a call and finds her stuck in a window and helps to pull her out. Then they're going back to the house and the phone rings again. And here's where I made a note, even though they never hung it up. So you're saying she hung up?
Yeah.
I don't think she did.
Okay.
But anyway.
You can email Greg at scaryspirits.com and tell him they hung up the phone.
Or you can email Karen at scaryspirits.com and tell her that, no, they did not hang up the phone. This is an error.
Okay.
Because the phone rings again, and I don't think they hung it up. But again, it's the boyfriend, whatever. And Annie says that she is going to go and pick him up. So Annie takes...
Yeah, apparently his parents are gone and he's grounded, so he's going to sneak out like teenagers do. And she's going to...
What?
Distract Lindsay, and they're going to have alone time.
Teenagers sneak out? Is that what they do?
So she is going to go pick him up, but Lindsay doesn't want to do it. So that's how they get Lindsay over to Tommy's house. Lori has to watch both kids.
Lori agrees.
Because Lori's nice.
Yes. And then Annie tries to go and open the car door, but the door is locked, Karen.
What kind of car is it, Greg? You're not going to...
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
I thought for sure I was going to get... It's a car.
Don't know.
Okay. Well, that's fine with me.
Well, I watched it last night. Where I'm thinking it might be like a Monte Carlo or something. But anyway, and it's locked. So she goes locked, back inside to get the keys.
Yes.
She comes back and she opens the door and it's not locked anymore. It's unlocked now.
Well, she gets in and sits down and then realizes
there's condensation on the windshield.
Right. But she realizes, wait, it wasn't locked. And yes, there is condensation.
And Michael is in the back seat.
He is.
And he kills Annie.
So he's choking her and she's beeping the horn, which was a good idea, I thought, although it didn't do her any good. But then does he slice her neck?
I don't know.
I couldn't see. It was
going
dark.
to ask you. There was a sound. There was a
and I think he did
sound.
And later, I think you kind of see it. So,
but there wasn't any blood. Like
right.
I would expect blood splatter on the window if that happened.
Right.
But there wasn't any. So I don't know. All I know is she's dead.
But I think he did because it comes back later. At the time, I couldn't tell if that's what he had done because all of a sudden she just goes limp. She's gone. She's not fighting anymore, which could mean he choked it out of her, the life out of her. But I think there is a noise, and I'm pretty sure he slices her neck. She dead. She's gone.
Yes,
whatever you like
Annie's
to say.
gone. Next, we see little Tommy Doyle looking out the window, and he sees Michael carrying Annie into the Wallace house.
He freaks out a little bit, as he should.
Yeah.
But then Lori just puts him back in front of the TV and he's like, okay, starts watching TV. I thought that was kind of funny.
Right.
He sees her being carried into the house, a little bloody. She had a little blood on her.
No, not from, you can see. All the way across the street like that? No.
Well, I could. All right. Anyway.
So next we cut back to the Myers house where Loomis is watching, still waiting for Michael to return. And some kids come up, as they do, especially because it's Halloween.
Yeah, they're the bully boys, I think, aren't they?
They are. And one of the kids dare one of them to go up and go into the house. And he starts to go up there and he gets all the way up there, and then Loomis scares them away. And he gets some satisfaction out of that, Karen.
Who wouldn't?
He looked like he enjoyed it. He grinned. Next, PJ Souls and her boyfriend pull up in a van, drinking Budweisers.
And talking about how they're going to have sex.
And then PJ Souls and her boyfriend go into the house and start making out on the couch.
Yeah, and Michael Myers is there watching.
Michael is watching. Next, we see Lori and Tommy Doyle and little Lindsay Wallace. They're going to they carved a pumpkin. They already carved it. And Lori's carrying it to the table, right?
Yeah.
And then PJ calls Lori on the rotary phone.
Says, yeah, she's curious. Where's Annie? Right. Annie's not there.
Yeah. And then PJ and her boyfriend realize that they have the whole place to themselves.
Yeah. Nobody cares where Annie is right now.
No, they just know that
it's like
Lindsay's been taken care of and Annie ain't here. So here we go. So they go upstairs, Karen, and I believe they have intercourse.
Well, they're smoking, so I assume they
afterwards they are,
yeah.
Yes. And we do see two bare breasts also, Karen. PJ Souls.
I don't have a note of that.
I do. So once they finish, they have a smoke. And then PJ wants a beer. She tells her boyfriend, Bob. Is it Bob? I'm pretty sure it's Bob.
It is Bob. Yeah. It is Bob.
Bob. So it's Bob and
Paul.
Linda Vander, whatever.
Oh,
she's got like 4 names and he's just Bob. Right. Linda Vanderclock with a Y. Linda with a Y, Vanderclock, and Bob.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Bob goes to get Linda with a Y, Vanderclock a beer.
Yeah. Did you see when he was going down to the kitchen? There was a huge painting of a kitten on the wall.
I did not notice.
I mean, it's huge. It was funny. Just how big it was. Yeah.
And Michael basically comes out of one of the cupboards and lifts him up by the neck and then stabs him, and he's like stuck there on the wall. Right? But
I think it's a door.
Because
that would, well, just because you could push the knife into a door easier than the wall. But yeah. Yes.
There's like a pantry on either side of this little hallway, and he lifts Bob up and sticks a butcher knife in him, so he's like stuck there hanging.
Yeah, they show his feet off the ground.
Yes. And then Michael goes upstairs.
Oh, well, he looks at him for a little while. He stares at him.
Yeah.
Stares at Bob hanging on the wall.
Yes, he does.
Like it's a piece of art or something.
As you would. Yeah.
It's a little odd.
You're just enjoying what you've done. Right?
Well, it didn't make sense then that he would be.
It's like when I make a prop or something, I stand back and look at it from different angles. It's the same thing.
Well, it's a little different.
Not really.
But I didn't understand at this point that he's kind of setting scenes a little bit, but he is. So yes, he's admiring his work.
Yeah. And next we see Michael upstairs covered by a sheet with Bob's glasses on.
Yeah. Clever.
And PJ is in bed. And we see 2 more, bare breasts, but we've already seen them. So whatever.
But PJ calls Lori. Yeah.
Yeah. PJ, who is Linda Vanderclock with a
Yes.
Y, calls Lori. And as she's talking to Lori, Michael strangles her with the phone cord. I wonder how many people have been saved because phones no longer have cords, Karen.
I don't know. Quite a few in our movies.
So anyway, we're back at the Myers house, and Loomis is still waiting.
Is this where he sees his car?
Yeah,
The
he sees
stolen
his
car?
fucking car across the street. It's been there the whole fucking time, and he just now sees it. Right?
Well, that's what it looked like. Yeah.
Yes. So then Lori goes across the street to check out Annie and PJ.
And she takes her keys. She takes some keys with her.
She does take the keys with her. She does. And she's walking around the house and she finds the back door open. And she goes in, but Bob isn't hanging there anymore because that's where Bob was hanging just a minute ago.
Right. He's gone.
He gone.
So she's over there in the dark. Why doesn't she turn on a light? Wouldn't that be the...
Don't know, Karen.
That's what you do immediately.
Maybe she's
right?
afraid of what she'll see if she turns it on. Maybe
I guess
PJ and Bob are doing some crazy shit she don't want to see. I don't know.
Well, they would have answered her. She's been calling for him.
Yeah, I guess.
Because she sees the light upstairs in the bedroom door. So that's why she goes upstairs.
Yeah, she goes upstairs.
Wait, before you do that, I just wanted to say at this point, the soundtrack of this movie that plays along with the movie is really good.
And it's almost nonstop. It's almost going throughout the whole movie.
Right. It's just something that you notice through the whole movie. But here, I just wanted to stop and say
it's a lot different than Dracula, which has 0.
Right.
This one, the music is playing almost the whole movie and it fits.
It does.
Adds to the suspense and whatever.
Right. It
like
really
I said, there's
does
no
make a
blood in
difference.
this. It's all a little bit suspenseful and you know
yeah,
what I mean?
but I just wanted to say that when she's walking up the stairs to go towards this door and the music is playing, it's exceptional, really. The soundtrack, I think, really adds a whole nother level to the movie, in my opinion.
John will be very happy to hear that.
Anything I can do to make John happy.
Yes. So Lori goes upstairs and she finds Annie in bed.
She opens the door.
Yes. And there's Annie and there's Judith Meyer's headstone in the bed above her. And, you know, of course, it's Annie's body.
I thought this was a cool scene. This was probably my favorite scene in the whole movie.
There's not a lot of blood, though.
No, but you could
Like
see,
you
this
said.
is where I said, you can see that her neck is sliced in that.
I couldn't see it.
Oh.
I couldn't tell. I didn't know.
Well, you couldn't even see him hang up a phone. So what do you know? Of course, I missed a whole body when
and
the
I did
guy
watch this on my TV, actually, my half price books DVD and the TV. Yeah, but anyway.
But I just thought it was a really cool scene because it's like a little vignette. She's laying there, the headstone, and I had forgotten about the headstone. So to see it again was like, oh, that's good. You know, I just thought it was a cool scene.
Yes, there was a reason the headstone was missing, apparently. And then Bob swings down in the closet.
Yeah, she's backing up and she runs into swinging Bob.
Much like whoever did Friday the 13th does like 3 years later. It's pretty much perfect copy of this, actually, when what's his name swings down as what's her name is running away. We haven't done that in a while. I don't remember their names. I'm sorry. And then the linen closet. I think it's a linen closet, but some door opens and then we see PJ in there too.
Yeah. So she set up, it's like he knew exactly what steps she was going to take, you know, and then she backs out of the room and she's understandably freaked out.
Yes. She goes out into the hall and then Michael comes out and slashes her arm with a knife.
But he kind of misses a little bit.
A little bit. He just nicks her and she falls down the stairs. It's like a landing and she falls off the landing and down the stairs.
Yeah, it's quite a tumble.
It is.
And she hurts her leg because she's limpy now. She's got her arm hurt because it's slashed and her leg is hurt.
And she tries to get out of the house, but there is a rake against the back door and she can't open it.
Well, she goes to the front door and I couldn't figure out why she couldn't open that. But I wonder if he put obstructions at all of them.
Don't know. But there is definitely a rake at the back door and she can't get it open. So she breaks through the window and pushes the rake aside and then runs out, screaming for help. Please, God, help me. Please, somebody. Please, God. Please, somebody help me. Right? That's what she does. And she goes next door.
As you would. I mean, you just saw your three dead friends.
I guess you would. You might.
Well,
I don't know.
You just saw 3 dead people, your friends. Somebody tried to slash your arm. You fell over a railing and hurt your leg. I'm pretty sure you would be screaming.
You'd be screaming, please, God, help me. Please, somebody help. Please, God, help. Please, God, help me. Somebody. Is that what you would be doing?
Well, I'd be screaming for someone to help me. Maybe not God, but.
I'd be finding a shotgun or something. But
well, if you knew where a shotgun was,
yeah,
sure.
well,
but...
if I knew like little Tommy Doyle's dad had a shotgun, that's where I'd be going.
Okay.
She goes next door, and the people, they're assholes. They turn on the porch light and then they turn it off.
Well, they think it's a prank, I think. They probably think it's a Halloween prank, right?
Maybe.
Would be my guess.
Maybe. I don't know. So then she runs back to little Tommy Doyle's house.
She runs to where the kids are. She's got a murdering person following her, a murdering person.
Yeah.
He's got a murderer following her. And she leads him back to where the kids are. But that was a little.
No, she can't get in. She can't even get in. So she can't find her damn keys. She has to throw a flower pot against the window up there to get little Tommy Doyle to come down and let her in. And Michael's coming the whole time behind her. But she gets in and locks the door. But then she sees the window is open.
And the phone lines are cut.
Yes. And she tells little Tommy Doyle, to run upstairs and lock himself in his room. Him and little Lindsay Wallace.
Yeah. So they're up there, locked in there together.
Yeah. Tommy and Lindsay sitting in a tree.
I mean, I think maybe I would have told him to run out the back door.
Well,
that seems safer to me, than run somewhere in the house when this guy's coming into the house.
Should have done now what she does later, but
yes,
we'll get there. Of course, Michael's already in the house because the window was open, and he tries to stab Lori with a knife. He fucking misses again, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
And she puts a knitting needle right in his neck.
Yeah, and he falls.
Again, there's no blood, but you would think there might be some arterial splatter.
You would think with a knitting needle to the neck, you would expect a little blood. Yes.
Yeah, I'm not mad about it, but yeah, you would think there might be. And then Michael collapses. And Lori has the knife in her hand and she drops it for the first time.
Yes. That's important to note for the
first time. Next, we see Loomis walking the street. And I made a note. I'm surprised he did not hear Lori screaming for help. Right? Because she was screaming, help me, Lord, help me. Lord
she
God,
was doing
everybody.
A good job. Yeah, she was really screaming.
But apparently Loomis didn't hear her. I don't understand why. So then Lori goes to check on the kids. And as she is assuring
she
them,
thinks she's killed him.
Yes. She thinks she's killed the boogeyman. But just then, Michael comes up the stairs. He ain't gone yet.
No, and she does send the kids to one room and she goes to another, which at least she didn't bring the kids with her.
And when she runs in the room, she opens up the back, like patio or deck door, because they're on the second floor now. Right. So she opens a door to the outside. So apparently there's like some deck or something up there on the master suite, because I think that's where she is now. So she opens that door and runs into the closet and closes it. So I think she's trying to convince Michael that she went outside.
She's crying loudly in the closet.
Doors of the closet aren't very thick.
And there's no clothes in the closet. So I don't know if it's a guest room or. There
is clothes hangers.
Yes, but no clothes.
So Lori.
He's trying to break in and he does.
And she fashions a weapon out of the clothes hanger and stabs him in the eye.
The psycho light bulb, though, when he breaks in, he hits it and it swings, kind of like in Psycho where it's swinging. I didn't know if they were trying to reference that or not.
Maybe. Don't know.
But yeah, you're right. She grabs a hanger and fashions it. And then somehow, being injured and scared out of her mind, she can make that hanger hit his eyeball.
Yeah. In his Captain Kirk mask.
Right.
And he drops the knife. And Lori then grabs it and stabs him with it. Then she leaves the closet
He falls down.
Yes. And she leaves the closet and he's lying there on the floor and she walks out with the knife in her hand and she drops it again.
She throws it away and she limps.
I was yelling,
gets the
stab
kids.
him, cut his fucking neck, do something.
Behead him. Yeah.
Whatever. She doesn't. She just drops it. Then she does something smart and tells the kids to run down the street to a neighbor's house. I think she tells them who and tell them to call the police. And then Michael pops up behind her.
I did like how he sat straight up. I thought that was, it was creepy. He's lying flat and then he just kind of bends at the waist and sits up. I was like, that's creepy. You know, he didn't roll over to get up like I would have to do because I'm 100, but he just sat straight up. I thought that was good.
Well, if you're 100, I'm 99. But anyway, the kids run out of the house. And by this time, Loomis is outside of the house and sees them. And then Michael starts to strangle Lori inside. And Lori takes off Michael's mask. And we see Michael Myers. Might be the only time we see him in the whole series.
Why did they do that? It just seemed weird to me because it's not like we recognize him, go, oh, that's Michael Myers. I mean, it was just a weird thing. I thought
it's a kind of a cool trivia little thing, though. That might be the only time we ever see him. You know what I mean? When he's not 6
in the franchise or in the movie.
In the franchise, I don't know, but I'm assuming. It is a different actor that plays Michael's face than Michael the rest of the movie. It's 2 different actors. So
no, I just wondered. It just seemed like she unmasks him, but it doesn't mean anything to me. I didn't know if it had significance later, but
so Loomis runs upstairs and shoots Michael 5 times from his, I think it's a revolver, and Michael falls out the window from the 2nd floor.
Yeah, you see him sprawled in the grass down there.
Yes. Then Loomis walks towards the window to look out, and he gone.
Meaning he's actually gone, right?
Yeah, he's gone. And then we have credits.
But the music plays, which again, it just adds this creepiness. So the Michael Myers music, you all know it, starts playing, and you hear the mouth breathing, and you're like, okay, sequel, here we come. As I do love a sequel, not in this particular genre, but I do like a sequel.
I mean genre.
Or at least the setup for a sequel. I don't necessarily have to see it. I just like that there's a setup for it.
So Karen, that's the end of the film. Anything you were pleasantly surprised by in this film that you really liked, enjoyed, thought was exceptional?
Well, I liked that there wasn't a ton of blood, which was interesting. It was not what I was expecting.
It's not really needed. I don't think, right? It's still suspenseful and
absolutely. I thought it was well acted. I liked the acting. I think some of the people looked a little old to be high schoolers, but that's
compare this with Friday the 13th, right? They just added blood. That's what they did, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, go on. Sorry, I interrupted.
No, I think some of the scenes were really good. I like the tombstone scene. I thought that was interesting. He's creepy. I mean, the fact that he can just stand there in a mask and stare at you is creepy. And I don't know if you can help me with this, because I don't know if that's a female reaction to it. Because if some man is just staring at you, that's a very intimidating.
But it's a very faceless kind of mask too.
It is expressionless, yes. But I don't know.
We all know it's a Captain Kirk mask painted white. So it's very expressionless and bland.
But it has no eyebrows. It has, it's creepy. But if a man wearing that mask was staring at you from across the street, I think you would probably feel a little different than I would as a teenager. You'd probably be like, fuck off or whatever. But I'd be like, holy crap. I don't know. I just wonder, as he's targeting women. So
Not a whole lot, probably, but I mean, it's still creepy.
It is very creepy. And it's probably a very inexpensive mask. That's the thing. There wasn't blood and gore, and there wasn't a lot of special effects. He just wore this weird Captain Kirk mask, and he was creepy as crap. And I think the music helped that too. So I really like the music.
Which John Carpenter composed as well. You know, it was performed by the Bowling Green Symphony.
There's no Bowling Green Symphony.
Bowling Green, Ohio? Yes, there is. There's always a symphony in every town. John Carpenter
I thought it was Kentucky.
No, it's Ohio. I'm pretty sure.
All right. You want to wager?
Do I want to? How much?
Email Greg at scaryspirits.com to tell him that it's Bowling Green, Kentucky.
I don't think it is. I think it's Ohio.
Well, look up John Carpenter.
I have a lot in the past, so that's why I'm saying I'm not sure that I'm pretty sure I'm correct. Oh shit. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're right now because he went to Western Kentucky, which would, that's where Bowling Green is, Kentucky. So pretty sure you're right.
My cousin just moved there, and that was one of the things that was told to them about the.
It's still cool that it's like, just down the road though.
I agree.
Up the road, down the road, it's the same, all the same.
It's down the road from you.
Yes, it's down the road from you too.
Well, yeah, it's a lot closer to you.
But Bowling Green, Ohio would be up the road from us.
Yes.
He grew up in Bowling Green, Kentucky. They moved there from New York. And
that's got to be a big change.
Carthage, New York. I don't know.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant
Not New
the
York,
city.
New York.
Okay.
He attended Western Kentucky University. His father chaired the music department there. So there you go. He did end up transferring eventually to USC, but then quit to make his first film. So Karen, you are correct.
Yay. It's the little things. So yeah, it wasn't what I was expecting. So I was pleasantly surprised. Speaking of like no blood, no gore, even the animal deaths were not.
But still scary.
Oh, it's very scary.
Suspenseful, build up the suspense.
The
first kill doesn't happen for quite a while.
Well, like unless you count
Annie in the car is the first kill.
Well, unless you count Linda, his sister. Is that her name, Linda or Lydia? What was it?
It's Judith.
Judith, sorry.
Yeah, Judith is in the first minute, but after that, you have to wait till Annie, after she's already spilled butter on her clothes and has gotten almost naked.
Well, I think it is. It's when someone just stands there and doesn't speak and is in a mask like that, it's very scary. I think that's scarier to me when you go through a haunted house or something than someone screaming. If someone's just following me and not saying anything, that wigs me out a lot more than
maybe breathing on your neck.
Well, yeah, like just standing there and not doing anything is in a mask where you can't, where it's suspended about who they are. That's very scary to me. I don't like haunted houses anyway. I just think they're scary, but that's creepier.
Karen, they're supposed to be scary, I think.
I know that. Can I tell you what I was disappointed in?
Let me pull up the outline. All right, Karen, anything you were very disappointed in?
Well, I won't say very disappointed, but I was kind of disappointed in the lack of backstory. Like, why did he kill his sister? We have no indication of that. We have no indication why he's still
because he's a fucking nut.
Yeah, but there had to be a reason to kill your own sister.
She's a bad seed.
There's a doctor that's worked with him for 15 years, and he couldn't give us some little nugget of what he thought was wrong with him. He just gives a speech about how he's pure evil, and that's it.
Because Michael never said anything. He hasn't spoken. He just stares at the wall.
I guess. I would have liked a little more background and psychological.
We all like what we want, Karen.
What the hell is that?
Can't always get what you want. We all want to know things, but
I understand that, but that's what I was disappointed in. I'm wondering if in later movies, if they explore that a little bit. Do they? Do you know?
I don't know. I don't
It seems
really
like
want
an
to know.
opportunity. Well, okay.
Because, this has been remade a couple times, by Rob Zombie or whatever. And I'm not sure
Oh,
I
this
care.
first one?
Yeah. Like on the 20th anniversary, they did Halloween 2.0. And I think it's a remake. They've remade it. So.
Well, was Jamie Lee Curtis in that one? She was in something, a remake of it, I thought it was a sequel.
So only the first sequel. So only Halloween 2 was written by Carpenter and Hill. All the rest have been done by somebody else. Although he did produce Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, which I've never really watched, but I feel like I want to, but maybe next year. Because it's a total, 3 is a total departure from the whole thing. So it's totally unrelated to Michael Myers. Halloween 3 is. But a remake in 2007 by Rob Zombie. And then they did a sequel in 2009.
Rob Zombie did?
Yes, to his own remake. And there's a new one coming out now, Halloween Kills. So I think Jamie Lee Curtis is in.
But she's in like the 20, they did something where it was 20 years or 25 years
2.0.
or something. She's in that one?
I think she is. And she's grown up and she has a kid and yeah.
So Michael Myers is 50 some years old, hobbling around trying to kill people. Or did he have a kid that's now going around and killing the kids of the people that he was trying to kill? Not that it matters, because I'm hoping I don't have to watch it.
It goes, and apparently she was killed in Halloween Resurrection.
Jamie Lee Curtis was?
Yeah. But then she reprised it in Halloween, which came out in 2018. Yeah. You know how it is. As long as they can keep, making sequels and remakes and whatever.
It's cash. It's all cash.
Cash money.
Yep. Big money.
So Jamie Lee Curtis returned in Halloween H2O 20 years later in 1998. And then Halloween Resurrection in 2002, she's in it and she dies. But apparently she comes back in a different one. So whatever.
Well, how about you? What did you like?
I like the suspense of it. It built suspense very well. I did like the soundtrack. It's very well done.
Anything you didn't like?
There are a few like time lapses and issues with plot, but whatever. There always is.
So out of Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, and Halloween, this is your favorite?
Probably. I mean, it's close between this and Nightmare on Elm Street, but I think this one is better. It's more well done.
I think this one is better, but I think the story in Nightmare on Elm Street, that the killer can get you in your dreams, is kind of intriguing. It's a little more of a story, This one is very suspenseful, very, very well done with the music and all the stuff. But I think the story in Nightmare on Elm Street, I could use less of the gore in that, but I think it's kind of cool. The concept, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. And Friday the 13th, you're right, is just a freaking gore fest. I mean, it's unfortunate that I saw that one first.
In the one we did, Friday the 13th, that it's a total ripoff of this film,
Yeah.
Just more gore, just more blood.
And less plot. Well, there's a little bit of a plot, but.
So, Karen, what cocktail rating are we giving this film?
I'd give it a 2.
Give it a 2?
Yeah, I
2
think
cocktails?
I think it was much better than Friday the 13th. And didn't we give that one 3?
Probably, but
yeah, I'd give it a 2.
I would agree. 2 cocktails. It's pretty good.
Did you like the drink?
I did.
The jack-o'-lantern.
Did you?
I did. I'm only about halfway through and it's turned a little pink. Oh, look at you. He just held up his glass and it's gone, pretty much. It's another good one for a Halloween party. So if you are having a Halloween party and you're freaking out because you don't have any drink recipes, You can go to our website, scaryspirits.com, and all of the drinks that we've made for the last, 27 episodes are in the recipe den. So give it a look if you're looking for a good cocktail to serve at the party.
Yes, and maybe by the time you hear this episode, there may be 30 or 31.
No, because this is 27.
No, but I always push it.
Oh, you do it early?
Yeah, I do.
So yeah, check it out. There'll be some easy ones to make and some more difficult ones to make.
And there are a few punches that a couple at least punches that we've changed to a drink. But I think the punch recipes, well, if you click on the links, that will take you to the punch recipe, if it is a punch recipe. So
right. So can you think off the top of your head, what was your favorite drink?
My favorite drink?
Yeah, can you?
Don't know. I tend to like the tropical drinks for some reason.
I did like the one. What was the one with the cherry?
I like the Dracula's
juice.
Blood. That was
Dracula's Blood. Yeah, that was a good one.
I just finished off my black cherry juice the other night, last night. So.
That's a good one.
Well, that was Dracula.
Well, it's a tasty drink and it's definitely Halloween appropriate. So
it was good. It's a good wine substitute. I mean, it looks a lot like wine, but it's better.
It's easy going down, that's for sure.
Yes, it's delicious.
So what's the next movie?
So our next episode will be Wednesday, November 3rd. Can you believe we're already to November?
No.
November 3rd. And you know what November 3rd is, Karen?
No, but I bet you're going to tell me. What is it?
That just happens to be Tom Savini's birthday.
That would be awesome if I knew who Tom Savini was.
Tom Savini is a special effects makeup artist.
Oh, the makeup artist. That's right. You've mentioned him before.
Yes. He's done lots of things we've watched, I'm pretty sure. And the movie I've chosen, he did it. And he also stars as himself in it, or not as himself, but he is an actor in it as well. Any idea what that film could be, Karen?
Well, it would need lots of makeup special effects. Frankenstein.
No.
Werewolf of London.
Nope.
Give me a hint.
I can tell you, Karen, that it is a vampire film. So because vampires are cool, you probably will like it.
I don't know. What is it?
So the film I have chosen, Karen, is a little film called From Dusk Till Dawn.
Oh, boy, I haven't seen. I've actually seen that, but not in a while.
Yes,
You're a Salma Hayek fan, then.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't hurt that she's in it. But there is George Clooney as well, and
true. So you're a George Clooney fan,
and it's a vampire film. I've only seen it once, I think, late night on flipping channels on cable TV. But
do you have a drink?
I knew you were going to ask that. How did I know that?
Aren't I supposed to ask that? Is that
do
not
I
my
have
role?
A drink? Do I? Do I not? I do. I have a drink called the Bloody Sunrise.
Excellent.
Did you get that, Karen? Bloody
I
Sunrise.
did. We are so clever.
It's our first tequila drink.
So it's like a tequila sunrise.
It is exactly a tequila sunrise, but you rim the glass with grenadine so it drips like our favorite like bloody stuff, right?
Yeah. So what do you need?
So we're gonna need tequila, orange juice, and grenadine. That's it.
I think I have that.
We didn't learn anything today, did we?
Well, it depends. We learned that the mask was a William Shatner mask.
No, we didn't learn that. Everybody knows that.
I didn't know it because I didn't know anything about the movie, so I did not know it.
Okay. Well,
and I only learned it when I read a little bit about it. Wow, we really didn't learn anything, did we? This was pure entertainment, people. No learning.
I don't think. I mean, assuming that everyone knew that PJ Souls was in Carrie and was in this. And
if you didn't know that John Carpenter did the score.
Yes,
he
was. Yeah,
directed and
musician.
co-wrote it.
Yes.
So, and he was from where, Greg?
Western Kentucky, Bowling Green, Kentucky.
Yeah. We learned that.
I did meet him.
You did?
I did once, yeah, at a horror hound thing.
Is he older than us?
He is. Oh, he's older than me. He was born in 1948, Karen.
Oh, well, just before me.
So I did have him sign my copy of The Fog, which is my favorite John Carpenter film. But I haven't seen them all, admittedly. There are a couple.
Was he nice?
Yeah. Well, you know how it is. Just
Well, I don't.
next.
I've never been.
Next. Yeah, he was okay. He was cool. Yeah, I would say he was nice. All right. Anyone you need to thank, Karen, for this episode? Anyone bring you your liquor?
No,
Anyone leave us a good review on any of the platforms that you want to?
So we thank anyone who leaves us a review, a good review. You can leave us a review and we won't thank you if it's crappy, but we still appreciate it. We like the feedback. So it only takes a few minutes. So please help us out.
Anything else, Karen?
Well, you have to thank verse 13.
Yes, I do. I do need to thank the band Verse 13 for letting us use their music in the podcast.
Because as we've learned today, the score and the music can make or break something. So verse 13, it is. And so verse 13 helps us out a lot.
Yes.
So we did learn something there. We should say something else too.
What?
Happy Halloween.
Yes.
Party safely. Thanks for listening to the Scary Spirits podcast, where the movies might be iffy, but the drinks are always solid. We would love to hear from you. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Scary Spirits Podcast, or go to our website, scaryspirits.com. And if you want the direct line, email us at info@scaryspirits.com. If you really want to help us out, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. And remember, always drink responsibly. See you next week.